to Fight Fans Chit Chat. We want to wish you a happy new year. We're going to be back and we're going to be hard this year. We're actually going to be putting up videos quite regularly. No, we were finding our legs last year, but first topic. It's amazing that Tyson Fury's back. We're really happy that he's back, and this year I think is going to be the year to figure out who's the real king of the division.
Hopefully by the end of the year we should have someone holding all the belts.
Yeah, definitely.
If the fights get made and there's no stupid politics. But your first instinct, who do you think will hold all the titles at the end of the year? If someone does.
But my instinct is always going to be Fury. I don't think there's anyone out there that will... I don't think there's anyone out there that can beat Fury on his day. And I think with Wilder, as... Don't get me wrong, I think he was in really good condition with Wilder, and I think he was very fit, but there's no way you can be in peak condition.
Yeah. It's like football players. It's like a football player will come back from an injury and recover, or come off from a layoff or whatever, and he'll be fit physically, or he could play. There's nothing wrong with him, but he's not match fit.
Yeah.
And there was definitely would be some effects. It's only normal. He's 3 years out, and he'd had 2 mediocre fights, limited rounds, and then he goes straight into the elite of the elite against Wilder. So it was definitely Russ, and he still beat him.
Yeah.
I think. I know he got drawn, but he still beat him. So I think it is hard to look past him. It is hard, but then there's a few. You got Joshua. As much as people give him a stick in that, he's holding 3 titles, and he's a fucking beast.
Yeah, he is, and he's gonna knock anyone that he gets in a corner or he gets up against the ropes. He's knocking out.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know. I think we've probably been accused of saying it before, maybe being a bit too weighted towards Fury. But I think Joshua is made for Fury, and Wilder was probably his bogeyman. Wilder was the scary one.
So. I was worried for that fight. We're Fury fans. When that fight got made, the boxing skills. I was that's where I was getting I was uber confident because of that. But then I always thought, that stray right hand, and it landed obviously. But thank God he done his fucking Undertaker act and got up. But that was what was worrying me. Like I said, if he was to fight Joshua, I'd be more confident in beating Joshua. So I'd have you right there, yeah. But yeah, it's hard. And then they all match up so well. I hope they all just fight each other. So obviously you've got them 3, and they're the obvious 3. And we done on our Instagram post the other day, we put in them 3 and Dylan White. And obviously you've got others. You've got Baby Miller, you've got Luis Ortiz. I would still put Derek Chisora in there. If he has one big fight, he can come back up with this new trainer. I think he looked really good against White. Obviously White was White showed how good he was. I don't think it was how bad Chisora was, just how good White was.
If anything, that was probably the best I've ever seen Chisora.
That's what I mean. So there's so many. That's why it's so exciting. But I think them 4 are the top of the top. And I think White has got a fair shout in that argument. He should be spoken about in them conversations after the year he's just fucking had.
I'd still love to see White the Deontay Wilder. I'd love to see that.
I think White would be alright against Wilder. I think he'd give him a good I wouldn't be so confident that Wilder knock him out.
No.
I'm not saying White would win, but I think he'd have a good fucking chance.
Yeah, it'd be a good fight. It'd be a really good fight, and I think he'd be a lot more. It'd probably be a lot more physical than any other fight that he's faced. Even Ortiz was fairly physical, but he was more of a boxer. He was a very technical boxer, and he had a lot of success. I reckon Dylan White would just throw him over the road.
Yeah, a lot like what he done to Joseph Parker. Just made it so physical, a fucking dogfight. And the thing is with Wilder, I can imagine. Look, who am I but I can imagine because he's got such long arms and he swings and he puts his arm right back. So he telegraphs his right hand so much. If you get in close on him. He can't get that extension. It's a lot like when O'Hara Davis fought Josh Taylor. O'Hara Davis is a lot like Wilder. He's got freakishly long arms and swings him. What Josh Taylor was on his chest, just boxing him, clipping him, and he couldn't get these big shots up because he couldn't get that extension. But
that's true.
Because I think this year was brilliant. Or 2018, last year was brilliant for the heavyweights. But I feel like it could have been a lot better. There could have been a lot more fights if they just got made. I think Joshua Wilder should have happened last year. And I'm glad that Fury Wilder did. But I feel like so much more, and then obviously I hope it looks like Tyson Fury Wilder will be the rematch. But if Anthony Joshua fights Baby Miller before he fights White, that's a fucking sin.
Bro.
It is a sin after what he's done. He's had 9 fights since he lost to Joshua, won every single one. He's number 1 in 2 governing bodies, I think, and WBC and WBO. He's beat Joseph Parker, Lucas Brown, and Derek Chisora fights and he didn't even need to take them fights. Took them and won them all convincingly. So I just think if he doesn't fight him in April, if he doesn't get the Wilder, or if Wilder and Fury rematch, Joshua needs to fight White, and I'd love to fucking see that. And again, especially after that Chisora fight, I'm not going as easy. Joshua will knock him out. I'm thinking, oh fuck.
Yeah, it could be a good fight, and as Dylan White always says, Joshua's open to the left hand, isn't he?
Exactly. No one's got a better fucking left hook than Dylan White.
Yeah, exactly. I won't lie though. It's I've just thought of it now. I'm actually hating myself for saying it. I don't know if I want him to fight Joshua yet.
Why?
Because I'd be so worried if he lost. Because then he'd become a Chisora. Then he'd just be, and everyone said it during the build up to their two fights. He's just the same fight. Yeah. So I feel like he'd just become a Chisora. He'd become like the gatekeeper to that world level, to that elite level. So, to be honest, the fight that it'll probably never happen now. But the fight I'd love is him to fight either Fury or Wilder. Even if he fights the winner of that fight.
I just think Fury kills it. I think Fury does. I don't know. Yeah, I just think White just gets done by Fury. But I get what you mean. That's what it worries me as a White fan fighting Joshua. But then again, like, fuck it. Like, he caught him. I know Joshua's learnt a lot, but he caught him in that thing, and he was shit in that fight. Like, he was never trained properly. He was so fat. Look how fit he is now. The way he's boxed. The way he boxed against Zora, where he was on the back foot countering, jab, that straight right hand that came on leaps and bounds in one fight, and he still has that left hook. The body work. He's got such a good variation of punches. And he caught Joshua, he gave him a bit of trouble. I know he got knocked out, but imagine what he could do now. Like, he might get knocked out, I'm not saying he could. But can you imagine if he catches him, knocks him out, and then you hear,
oh, I'll be in love with it. I'll be in love with it.
And he gets it.
All I know is I'm probably going to tear my hair out during that fight. I'll be freaking out, man.
But yeah, that's what it's all about, though. The best fight and the best. And Dylan White, you got to think, as a Dylan White fan, you want him to have that fight, because that's how he's going to get that money.
Yeah, it's true.
You want him to get paid. And who else is he going to fight? Because the Wilder Fury, they're going to be tied up, hopefully. Who else is he going to fight? I know he says he'll fight Brazil, but I just think that's a step back.
Yeah,
I don't think Brazil's anywhere near the top elite.
No, he's not. He got back by AJ ages ago, didn't he? He's still waiting for the Wilder fight as well.
Yeah, right? Exactly. And then everyone say about Baby Miller and all that, he's in it. I respect it, and he's entertaining the way he talks and that, but what has he done to be in this conversation?
No, he hasn't. Don't get me wrong, he's active. He's very active, but he isn't fighting top level opposition. Exactly. Like, he should fight Brazil. Yeah, that's a Brazil fight. That's that level.
He needs to do. I think Dylan White has set the benchmark for the people that are trying to get into that, to get into the fights with Fury, Wilder, Joshua, with the top three champs. I know Fury was a lineal champ, but he's seen as that now. And Dylan White has set the benchmark. I think he deserves to be in that conversation and fighting them. So the other ones have to do what Dylan White done. 3 top fights, bang, 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 in a row. And fights anyone.
And if I'm completely honest, that's probably Eddie Hearn's boy in America. So he's probably moved him really, really quickly to try and make him kind of a face in America. Like
I think he's sort of like he's like a sheep getting taken to the slaughterhouse. He's being kept there as a little safety net for whenever Joshua ain't got a fight. Boom, we'll take Joshua to America. Take him to fight Baby Miller. And I think that's what Eddie Hearn's always kept White as. And now White has just blossomed on his own. He's gone on his own thing. Become a pay-per-view fighter now. You got to think, he's had, 3 pay-per-view fights now. He's had the first AJ fight, the one with Parker, now the one with Chisora. And in his own right, he brings a lot to the fucking table. So now he is not that. He can call his own shots, and he can turn down offers. Like he said, he was on Talk today, and he was saying they've made him an offer for the Joshua fight, but he said it was a lot less than what he got paid.
That's outrageous.
To fight Chisora. But he's in a position where he can say, well, fuck off. I'm not taking that. And he can fight someone else.
Because he is pay-per-view in his own right. Just him. Just him on his own.
Name a boring fight White's been in. Well, I can name one. It's the fucking Robert Helenius one. But that wasn't down to him. But when the other person's ready to dance, he's ready to fucking go to war.
And obviously, going back to the kind of original question, I know we always tend to lean towards Fury and White. Joshua in his own right is the best at the moment.
Yeah, on paper, he's number one.
Yeah, he is number one in the moment.
Yeah, rightly so.
Well, if Fury takes that time.
Yeah.
I reckon he's number one.
Yeah,
He goes back to being
I think Fury. In my mind, I would say Fury's number one just for what he's done. And I know people would say, with what Joshua Wilder. At the end of the day, we're just fans. And we're looking in. To me, I don't know all the politics. I see it as Joshua didn't fight Wilder. Fury stepped in when he weren't even ready and beat Wilder. So. I think as a champ, you have the balls and you'll go anywhere and you'll fight anyone because you're confident in yourself that you'll beat him. If Joshua was that confident, Lennox Lewis has made a few comments over the last few months about Joshua, saying, Eddie Hearn's saying, the fight ain't there, we've offered this. Joshua should just turn around and go, I don't give a fuck. Get me that fight. I will beat that cunt up, but then we'll get money after that. And that's what you should do. Just say, right, I want him, I want him, I want him. Bam, 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 bam. I know it's a business and all that, but he's going to get paid. It's Anthony Joshua. He's not going to get pittance, is he?
Yeah, exactly. We probably sound quite ignorant by saying that. I know he's got sponsors and stuff, but he's still making a few tens of millions probably out of that fight.
If you want to prove, and he's all role model and all this legacy stuff he talks about, you want to get your legacy. You have to take your pay cut and say, right, just give him that money. I want to beat him. It's not about that for me. And it's not like he's going to be earning like, loads. He'll just get a little bit more. He'll still get way more than everyone fucking else. Take the fight and prove yourself. I bet Fury didn't get as much as he wanted to fight Wilder.
But he gave most of it away.
He just took it because he was confident he's going to beat him. And he did beat him. And look where he is now. It's paid off. And hopefully he gets that second fight. And, well, how do you think it'll be a repeat? The second, they have a rematch this year, Wilder Fury?
I think Fury would be better.
Just more convincing.
I reckon it'd be more convincing. I think Fury will be a lot less, because as much as Fury's quite cocky, and he obviously comes across as this great showman, there's got to be nerves in your head. There's got to be things in your head going like, fuck me, am I still up to it? Am I still up to it? Am I still up to it? And now he got up from that. Yeah. Mate, he'd be on fucking cloud nine.
I get what you're saying actually, because it's kind of like he believed he could do that, believed it, but now he knows he can do it. So it's just going to be a thing of right, mate, you're done. And because even after the fight, I think it was Shelley. Where is Shelley Finkel? Is
Shelley Finkel was Eddie Hearn called him.
Yeah. He was saying, that was the best Fury you're ever going to see, but that was not the best Deontay Wilder. I think that's a load of bollocks. Because I think only Fury is the only one that's going to get better in that fight. Because he was, like we said before, rusty, out for 3 years, only had 2 mediocre fights, and went in and fought like that. He's going to have more training now. He's now done 12 rounds in the ring, in front of the lights, against world champion. It's only going to make him better. He's going to be more confident. Where Wilder was fighting consistently against Luis Ortiz. He was on the form of his life, knocking out Luis. That was the big thing, the biggest win of his career, coming off that, full of confidence, bomb squad, going to knock out everyone. AJ just ducked him apparently, so he's scared of him. And Fury still beat him, and I think he can't get better than he was in that fight. And everyone says Wilder was so bad. I'm telling you now, everyone says, Wilder fought badly. Klitschko fought badly when he fought Fury. It's Fury.
It's because they're confused. They don't know what to do.
That's what I mean. Fury does it to him, and he won't. He was saying, I was a bit too. I wasn't throwing my right hand, but then I was throwing it too much. I think Fury's the only one that will get better in that fight, and I think you're right. It'll be more convincing, and he'll just beat him on an easy points decision. I can't see him stopping Wilder because I don't think he'll put himself in that danger.
No, and I don't think Fury's just not that. He's just not that fighter. Even though we always talk about like he never sits on his punches and he's just not that guy. He's not going to be a knockout artist. He's a beautiful boxer. That's what he is, and he embarrasses people. He don't knock people out. That's what he does.
Do you think, like, so say they do fight in April or whether they're thinking of fighting, and say like it says what happens, like Fury wins, and then AJ White fight, or hopefully AJ fights Miller, AJ wins that fight. Will that get made? Do you think AJ Fury will get made?
Yeah.
With Warren and Eddie Hearn, the way Fury talks, because Fury won't sit. He'll be like 50-50. Yeah. Do you think they'll give that to him?
Money will take over that conversation.
That's what I mean.
Ego. And you got to think it's not only like you. Obviously, there's an argument between Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn. And there's an argument between Fury and Joshua. Yeah. But then you got to think about Sky. Then you got to think about Nike. Then you got to think about Reebok. BT. All their sponsors. And then you got to think it's probably £300-400 million in that as well.
This is what happened with fucking Mayweather Pacquiao, wasn't it, for years and years? Because I think Mayweather was always on Showtime, Pacquiao was always HBO, and that was the big debate. And obviously all their own personal issues and shit with the drugs, and Mayweather saying he put them out and all that. But that's what you got at BT Sport. But then do they do a thing like what they done when they finally fought? HBO showed it and Showtime showed it, so they both had it and they both showed it, obviously. But I don't know. I just think I just hope we get everything we want in 2019. So them two fights, whoever AJ fights, okay, them two fight, the winner of both fight each other, then we have a fucking ultimate person who's the fucking champion.
Yeah, I think it's going to have to happen, and I think Fury will definitely make it happen. I think the worst thing with AJ will be his sponsors and having to deal with all that. But yeah, I think it will definitely happen, especially with the DAZN deal as well. The DAZN will probably be leaning on that massively.
Yeah, they'll want that.
Yeah, and it'll probably end up being purse bids.
Yeah,
and they'll just all bid for it, and then whoever wins either way, everyone's earning a mint. So that'd be
I don't even think they could fuck it up, because obviously at some point mandatories have got to be called as well, wouldn't they? Josh was holding.
It was mandatory after April, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, if White don't get the fight in April, Joshua's got to fight him, innit? And for his WBO in September because he'll be
Yeah.
called, the manager will be called.
Mm.
It's a fucking disgrace that WBC haven't called White to fight Wilder yet.
No, definitely.
Because he's been number one for fuck. I know they said about this deal with Brazil and all that, but the amount of fights he's having, they should be calling that on now.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Definitely.
I just think,
I'd fucking love that. Oh,
what, White v. Wilder?
needs to fight Wilder.
Oh,
Needs to
brilliant,
fight
wouldn't
Wilder. That'd be unbelievable. That'd be unbelievable. And fucking fight Fury after just for the payday. Fuck it. And then retire, run back to Brixton and own a mansion. Fuck it.
I just think it all needs to happen. I think a lot of it doesn't revolve around Joshua. He is the man, and it's just who's going to get in. But the thing is, I love Fury and all that, but one thing that does make me sad is that if Fury beats Wilder, I'd love to see Joshua Wilder. Because I know you, was it you that said that you think Wilder's made for Joshua? Or,
I thought Joshua was made for Fury.
oh, okay.
But Wilder, I think that's a pick 'em, but I reckon Joshua would get to him first.
See, me, I think it's 50-50.
You reckon?
Because Joshua don't move his fucking head.
Yeah,
And Wilder throws straight lines. But then again, he's so open. Joshua counters so quickly. I think he throws the fastest combinations and counter punches, Joshua.
Yeah.
Wilder throws the quickest right hand just off the bat, but it's so telegraphed, it's a joke. And
It's true.
Fury's feet are so quick.
It's true what you said about the space though. Wilder needs space. He needs to launch in. He can't stand and trade with you. He needs to launch in to get the
Yeah.
power into him.
Yeah,
So Joshua would just sit on. And Joshua would like
it's true. The thing is, as well, what comes in with Wilder, is he weighs so much less than him. That's one thing that fucked him in that Fury fight. You notice the size difference. Fury was just throwing him around, turning him, leaning on him, throwing him back. Because that 15 stone does come into it. But he's got that fucking one weapon. Which is one hell of a fucking weapon which equalises everything.
He just wins by fear most of the time, doesn't he?
Yeah.
People hesitate so much because they think they're going to get hit. And Fury's probably the first person he's met, and maybe Ortiz probably to an extent as well.
Yeah.
They just stood in front of him, and he's been in trouble in both fights, hasn't he? So
Here's a question: does any other top heavyweights apart from Fury get up from that? What you got up from in the 12th round? Do you reckon?
no chance.
I don't know, it's fucking mad, but
No chance, mate. No chance. Yeah, not in the 12th round either. Every other guy is
knackered, shattered as well.
yeah, fucking. That's probably the thing that
And he
saved him.
jogged as well, jogged to the corner, he got, and then went on to win the round.
That's probably the thing that saved him. All that flab he's still carrying.
I know.
He's still got a bit of energy. He's got back up.
Jesus Christ.
man.
But if he does win, say he whoops Wilder,
Yeah.
and then does Eddie Hearn want to put Joshua in with him? Do you know what I mean? Do you want to risk him? The thing is with Joshua, it's like White has said it a few times that he's in the business of having easy fights and having big money. Whoever Joshua fights, he's going to get paid big.
Yeah.
So would he think, look at it and go, well, I'll fight White, or I'll fight Miller in New York instead of Fury, and I'll get around big money anyway. Have that, keep having easy fights and wait. I'm sure Joshua in his head will be like, no, I want to fight him, but Eddie Hearn, he's the one that's steering the ship.
He'll wait till he's got his next prospect, won't he?
Yeah.
His next Joshua. So his next one will probably be Buatsi, but he'll be waiting for his next heavyweight.
Yeah.
Like his little, and there's a guy that's managed by Dylan White who's looking a bit naughty at the moment. I think he's at Hunter.
Oh, okay.
And so
is he managed by Dylan White?
Yeah.
Shit,
So
I
Dylan
didn't
White
know
looks
that.
after it. I think he's Hunter. And he just got signed up by Eddie Hearn as well.
Oh, fuck.
Or, I don't know if they're signed up, but he'll be waiting for his next prospect.
Prospects, yeah.
And once he's got his little shining star, then he'll start risking AJ, and then he'll start just putting him in.
Yeah. But the thing is, with Fury, you don't get that. He doesn't really have that business sense behind him, which makes him brilliant. But I think this year I've kind of really loved what that Wilder fight. It sounds weird. I'm kind of grateful it went the way it did, that the decision didn't go to him. But he fought so well. Then it's sort of become that he's finally getting that love from the people. I feel like he is the proper people's champ. And things are starting to shift in the heavyweight division, where it was so, especially in Britain, where it was so heavy Joshua.
Yeah.
Everyone loves Joshua. Like, get his cock out of your mouth. But you saw it at the White fight, when White gave it to him, and fans are booing him. It's starting to change. And he's sitting there going, well, I don't want you moaning if I don't fight Wilder and I fight White.
That
It's
was a
like,
big statement.
what are you talking to the fans like that? You could tell. And the way he got annoyed after White said something to him and spoke to him, and he was getting frustrated. The shift is changing. I think a lot of that is to do with Fury.
White done the
love
best
spread.
thing as well. Though,
Just said it and walked out.
it was brilliant. That was brilliant.
So at the end of the day, after all that, who do you reckon? You have to give a name now, put a gun to your head. Who will be holding, or who will be seen as the king of the heavyweight division by the end of
It's going to
2000?
be White, isn't it?
You reckon?
Nah, it's going to be Fury. Yeah? Fury's going to dominate as well.
I'd love it to be White.
That'd be brilliant, man.
But I think it's Fury as well. I'm sure you AJ fans out right now are going really red and getting angry, gritting your teeth. But
Comment, baby, let's have a row.
give us a piece in the comments, and I'm sure you Wilder boys, you Bomb Squads are getting the up, and you Wolves, the Dylan White fans, But we love him too, but we just think Fury's better. But you comment and maybe subscribe if you want, if you haven't got nothing to do.
Yeah, don't be tight.
Cheers for listening. See you later.
Good night.